This one came to me.
In a dream.
I'm
shutting up now.
This one came to me again as I was driving home from the internship. I was thinking about a topic and it just clicked. Ask good questions. So that is our topic. Ask good questions, and make sure that when you're asking it, it doesn't sound disingenuous. That's a word that me and George, the advisor of this club, we're talking about, asking good questions. Don't make it sound like you're being disingenuous. Ask with genuine curiosity and catch yourself in the heat of the moment, battling with your heart in a kind of righteous way. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the point of asking a good question is to get your opponent to clarify, not to as a kind of an attack, a presumptuous, condescending attack. Yeah, thank you. And it's even a noble act too. It's not just for you. It's to get them out of the space of their head, and they do that by talking, and they also do that if they have any proper sense. They respond to the question properly. And that's kind of what we're trying to learn here. Expanding, getting out of your head. So it's not only a means of the truth of immediate debate, but it's a noble thing you can do for them. So when they open the door a little bit more, by means of their explanation and response, the truth is furthermore in sight. Here's a real world example. I was just watching this movie that my previous professor recommended. It's called The Insider with Al Pacino. It's about the whistleblower in the 90s when he exposed nicotine being addictive, because the tobacco companies, the CEOs lined up on a court session and all said they don't believe it's addictive, and they lied. The movie poses a lot of ethical questions. So in the movie, Al Pacino's character, the journalist, has to go through a lot of hurdles with corporate. It was 60 Minutes that got a hold of this story, and at CBS. So he had to go against CBS corporate to. It's just funny the way you're looking at me, but Tony. But he had to go through CBS corporate, and once the whistleblower, Russell Crowe's character, gave the interview and said he was going to go in front of a court in law after he did both of those things, they said we can't air this because of the confidentiality agreement that he had between the tobacco company that he was a part of and himself. So he was breaking a law, and so CBS was not going to air it. But that was just their pretext. They really didn't want to air it because that's quite some. Well, I was going to say that's quite some bad publicity, but I think the reason of breaking the law is a proper reason. But anyway, Al Pacino had to go through a hell to get this out, and he even in a great scene, he as the kind of naive journalist, he said, "Isn't our goal to get the truth out there, not to tell your field runner, him, to go get this story, to get this guy to step out of his shell, to trust us?" And that was a big part of it, to trust us with his life and his family. And now all of a sudden, you want me to throw this story away and betray him. And I study journalism, and so does Lauren. And whether what we're going to go into is investigative journalism or whatever, this is the kinds of questions and the kind of experiences that we're going to go through. So one big thing that we learn in ethics. You're taking Gary's ethics class. He talks a lot about the truth and how important it is.
Capital teachers.
Yeah, but what he doesn't talk about is how to handle what I'm talking about. Like, how to handle people who want nothing to do with it, especially when they're higher up than you. They don't teach you the departmental battle that you have to go through as a journalist or a PR person or any of those things. And to understand that, as students especially, we can ask good questions and kind of train ourselves to do that. And the more you come here, the more you do that in your own life. Like read books. I had those books there. They're all in economics. And I was talking to George, this morning over coffee, and the debate we had was about social revolutions and how advertising and corporations shouldn't try and get a profit by inserting their products into it. My question was, why is the social revolution held in ultimate goal? Because in our society we do that as well as have responsibilities to our economy. And the response is like, well, there's a time and place. And I said, why isn't the time now? Eventually we started talking about how this is a free market economy. And then he said to me, he stumped me. He said, why is a free market economy, or a free market economy, the proper economy for America? And I said, I don't know. So I've just been reading those books ever since.
Ever since this morning?
No, ever since like 2 hours ago. Yeah, I've just been buried in them. Yeah, you have to ask the right questions. You have to research how to ask these questions. It's like, I know nothing about economics, so that's why I was doing that. I just had like a demon in me. I had to get it out, and getting it out was that information. So you go into asking these good questions, and this will help you be assertive. Once you know things, like you can practice assertion a lot easier, and you can be more confident. Like I notice sometimes when I say things, like in a debate, or especially when I'm talking to Tony Bennett, like I will know, like deep within my heart, that what I'm saying is not entirely true. Hey Noah. How you doing, man?
Doing good.
Vice President chair. No, this is the treasurer chair. That's the vice president chair.
My bad.
Yeah. So we were just talking about the importance of asking a good question. How you can overcome the people who want nothing to do with the truth, say in a setting of journalism, and the people, because what we learn about, what I was telling Lawrence, Gary's ethics classes, he talks a lot about the truth. How important that is. Sure, it's important. But what else is important is that departmental battle between corporate and the news bureau. The corporate wants nothing to do with the truth at times, because of what it'll affect, say, ratings or the public's views of them. The truth hurts. That's a real thing to think about. And I don't recall hearing Gary talk about that idea enough. It would be probably a good thing to mention to him, because we, as debaters, not even just journalists, like we need to be aware of this, that like once we step out of here, the game is on. Like in here, like
It's the playground.
it's a playground, and it's a playground where everyone needs, there's no exclusion at all. Like there's an emphasis on no exclusion, but the real world has exclusion. And whether you want to look at corporations or government, there's exclusion. And here, if you exclude somebody, it's a problem. And it really shouldn't be that much of a problem, because when you exclude somebody, you offer them the option in their mind. It's like disagreeing with somebody, the option in their mind that perhaps they are not adequate enough for said group. and that gives them the opportunity to change. So, yeah, ask the good questions, be disagreeable, don't be an asshole, be assertive, and read the books to gain that assertion and to gain that confidence. That is the end of the lecture. Thank you for listening.
Have you read anything about decon? Oh, I'm sorry,
Oh,
you
no,
raised your
it's-
hand. I'm being a dick.
What's a question?
What's that?
What's a question?